Now this is a kit that comes with a bag, and actually quite a nice one with a shoulder strap here. Very nice durable material, Velcro on the handles, zippers, they feel pretty good. And this is everything that's included. So we get 2 of everything. So this is one of our light panels, and they are in a bubble bag. Looks like we got a little strap for cable management, a little user manual, a diffuser, and the light itself. And it is also shrink wrapped and looks really nice. I really like the size. It's not huge, so it's quite easy to handle. So let's go ahead and cut this plastic off. So right away, very nice build quality. Looks like aluminum mostly. Nice little touch on the logo here. So it looks like the main body is aluminum and this frame piece is aluminum. And then we got plastic corners on each side. So here's a little display, and there's actually a protector over that. So this panel can use 2 of the NPF batteries, which are very common in the video world. And if you didn't want to use that, we could use the power, which is 15 volts DC. Got a little knob here, selectors, on and off switch. So 2 would be the power supply, 1 would be the battery, and then the middle would be off. So flipping to the front, this is where we can see all of the different LEDs that are in this panel, and it is exposed. The LEDs are not protected by anything, so I guess that could be a negative if you plan on using this in a more harsher environment maybe, but shouldn't be a big deal for normal use. So we got white LEDs, and then we got yellow LEDs. That's going to be for our color temperatures of the bicolor light. And then we got all these white little LEDs, if you guys can see that. Those are the RGB color lights. So these panels are not very large, so they're not made for crazy output. What these are really good at is producing color light, and this is why you'd buy these for the RGB part of it. But they can also do normal lighting. Now we do get this little diffuser panel, but yeah, this sheet somehow installs in front of this panel to diffuse the light and give you a more warmer output. But what's interesting is that with this kit, you also get the diffusers. So it looks like they're in some separate bag here. So you get the outer portion, the frame part, and it just unfolds. And we got some nice metallic, almost kind of like a foil inside for reflecting. And it also comes with the fabric that diffuses the light. Or I guess it's not a fabric, it's like more of a plastic. And it is on Velcro, so all you gotta do is attach it to the light box. And now we have a diffuser, and it simply just straps around the light and helps diffuse the light even more. So yeah, that's really cool that, you know, we get all these extra pieces with this kit. So if you want a more softer light, this is extremely helpful here. So we also have a box in here, and this is what includes the stand. And so this is what it looks like. I'm not gonna say that this is a high quality stand, but I think for what it needs to do, it should be fine. And we have 3 separate telescoping poles that come out. So they're not super long, but I can't even fit it in the camera in this shot here. It looks like about 6 feet tall. So definitely not crazy about these legs, because even though I got this tight in here, they're still moving around. Maybe if we spread them more, it might be a little better. Let's see. No, they still have some play. I don't know if you guys can see here, but there's a bolt here that connects them, pivoting point, and it's actually loose where it moves around in there. So the stands are definitely not very high quality, so probably would be fine for normal use, but anything more professional, you probably would want better stands. All right, and so for the last part, we get a power supply, which is 15 volts, 4 amps. Quite a powerful supply. And these lights are 50 watts, so, and a pretty reasonable power cord, actually quite long, and it'll simply plug into the power adapter. And so together with the power adapter and the cord, I don't know, I'd say it's about 10 to 12 feet, so good link there. So yeah, you get everything in this kit to get started, and even soft boxes. And basically the rest of the things is just another set what we saw. All right, so I got both of the lights out and set up on some stands, and you can see the other one there in the corner. But let's take a closer look here at the control panel in the back, specifically how to use it. So we can see that it's like this green back illuminated style glowing, and it's pretty nice, I guess, but unfortunately, if you're on an angle, it's hard to see it. If you're looking straight at it, it's fine, but if you're looking more than 45 degrees, it just goes all blurry and you can't see it. So not too crazy about that, but I guess it's not a big deal. Most of the time when you're changing something, you're standing in front of it anyway. So let's just go over everything here. So we got channel, which we're on 21 right now. And what channel is the communication between more than one light, meaning if you put this light and the other one on the same channel, anything you do on this one will change the other one, and we'll check that out in a second here. And I think the A, B, C, D, E, F selectors here are groups for certain lights. So let's say if you had a group A and then a group B and a group C, and you needed different colors for all those, you can just change the groups and then set it to those. So you can have a bunch of lights connected to each channel and then each channel to each group, if that makes any sense. So you can connect a lot of these together and control them from one, which is pretty cool. So then over here we have brightness, which is at 2% right now, and then the mode that we're in, which is the bicolor warm to cool light, and then our temperature at 4000K. So if we push the GP button, we can see that we just change groups and each one is different. To go back to A, it goes to where it was. And if we click on channel, here we can change the channel, and we do have this rotary knob here that I forgot to mention, and that controls everything. You guys can see that we're changing channels. So there's a total of 48 channels that you can pair in certain groups. I'm going to change that back to 21, and the reason we're changing back to 21 is because our other panel is set to channel 21, and so they sync together when they're both on 21. So automatically it goes back to brightness levels, and you know, by turning this knob here, you control the brightness. And if you guys notice, when I go up, that panel on the side there that you can barely see also goes up. So here we have a hot button for brightness, and this controls the brightness in 4 levels, which is 25, 50, 75, and then 100. So we got 50, 75, 100, and then back to 0. So if you need to jump around, you could use that. And then we have the mode button here at the end, and that changes our mode. So now we are in RGB spectrum. Also, I haven't mentioned that there's a little button here right at the middle of the scroller, and this actually selects the different options that you have in the menu. So we can go here from 2% brightness to the color spectrum. So we're on 0 now, and now we're 13%, 26, 30, 40, and you guys can see maybe kind of there on the edge that the color is changing a bit. But if we click this again, then we have another control, and that it looks like the, I guess, saturation, I guess you would call it, of the color. So the more higher it is, the darker it is. And then the lower it is, the more washed out it looks, that particular color. So you can adjust the colors quite finely. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So pretty basic controls. If you ever operated the light, this would be quite easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out here, guys, so you can see a little better. And we're gonna turn it a little. All right, so now you can see the other panel. And what's interesting is we're in brightness mode right now. So, you know, since they're synced, they work together. So as I bump this one up, the other one goes up in brightness. So it looks like we're in some blue color right now, which is 220. But here's the interesting part. Because these things are grouped together and they're on the same channel, what I can do is go back to this panel, do the brightness here, and that one will adjust with it. So they're both adjusting at the same time. So since they're grouped together in one group, they both work together from either control panel. Now let's try to set this one to another group. So let's say B, and we can see how the other one stays still blue, but this one turned green. So even though we're on the same channel, we're now controlling the group of B channels. So you can see here how you can have 6 different groups. So you can technically have 6 different colors with up to 48 panels in the 6 groups. So the limiting factor is the channels, which is 48, but you know, if you got 48 of these divided by 6, and that's how many you can control separately at once. I know this sounds a little confusing, but I think most people, the way they're going to use it is together or maybe another pair. So if you wanted all the lights to do the same thing, you just go all of them to group A, let's say. But if you wanted 2 out of the 4 to do 2 other colors, then you would just assign one to A and then the other to B. So I guess this could be quite helpful if you wanted quite a few lights in different places and you wanted to control them all from only a few of the panels, because some of them, let's say, are on the ceiling or hard to reach to, let's say. This makes it very nice and convenient. So definitely love this feature. So let's go back to our group A so we can get back on the same level here with the other one. And we'll push the middle button here. Then we can change our color phase, and I'm just gonna scroll through it so you guys can see. So we're turning purple now. I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick this up. Now we're turning pink, orange, green, and then back to the blue. So yeah, quite a nice spectrum of color. Now if we click our mode button, we actually have another mode which has like these little extra functions that do interesting things. Like this one is called SOS. So that's what it does on SOS. It kind of just blinks. And you can control the brightness of that, which is really nice. So I'm just going to turn it to 10 so we can see a little better. But this is what SOS does. So again, we're going to click on the middle here to change to the next one by scrolling it. So this is 2 lightning. If you wanted to have lightning, you got that option. Then we got a lightning part 2. So this is a different type of lightning. TV screen. So if you want to imitate a TV, I guess. This is police, which goes from blue to red. Could be quite trippy. If you're making a scene with police, this could help a lot. Okay, let's go to the next one, just ambulance. So we're going between blue and white. Then we got fire, which is white and red. Number 8 is RGB circle, and that just kind of smoothly goes through all of the different colors of the RGB. Then we got a quicker cycle, the same RGB circle. And that's everything. It goes back to 1, which is SOS. So yeah, if you care for some of these, it does have it. Okay, let's get out of here before I go crazy with the lighting here. Click on that, and now we're going back to the normal lighting here. So we're at 4000K temperature, and we can adjust that. Let's go all the way down. Then it's 26K, and well, I'll just have to say that the yellow is not as yellow as you would think. It's more of this lighter colored, softer yellow, or I don't even know how to explain it, like a washed out yellow. It's not really that yellow as it's supposed to be. But I think most people probably don't go that low. And if you needed to imitate something, you know, more orangey or yellow, you probably want to go to the color spectrum anyway in the RGBs. So I'm going to go up slowly here. So we're at 26, 27, 28, 29. And you guys can see that the secondary LEDs are kicking in, the blue ones, as we go up. So 37, 38, 39. So I would say about 45 or so is the medium, what it looks like. And then as we go up higher to the cooler, the yellow ones really start to dim out and the blue ones take over. And again, the blue ones are not actually blue. They're more of like an aqua washed out blue. And I don't know if you guys will be able to tell on the camera there, but hopefully you will be. I actually prefer this kind of blue better because it actually gives more real to life cool temperature instead of the ultra blue style. I think for me, I'd use it somewhere in between 4000 and 5, depending on what I'm filming and where. So, and I might go a little higher on this one because I do like the blue on here. So yeah, as far as the controls go, it's pretty straightforward. Very cool that you can control both of them with one light. Now, if you were going to use the batteries, I think you'd have to have 2 of them to make up the 15 volts to run. So, you know, one battery is not going to work. You're going to need 2 of them if you want that option. So I'm just going to use the provided power cables that plug in right here. And I definitely like that the cords are longer